Hello everyone, welcome to the Creme de la Prem podcast, episode 2, Match Week 1 reactions. I'm your host Willie, joined by Wa'il and Abdullah. Alright, there was lots of drama over the weekend, last minute winners, a red card, some questionable VAR decisions, and we will be going through everything this week as we talk about every game from Match Week 1. Starting off first with Man United versus Arsenal, the big game at Old Trafford. 0-1 to Arsenal. As we like it as Liverpool fans, we love to see them lose every week, and hopefully it continues every week. So yeah, Wai, let's start with Wai. What were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, it's a huge win for Arsenal to start off the season at Old Trafford, away from home. It's a big win. Like, even if it was unconvincing, I think it'll do them a lot of good confidence-wise. I mean, first week is always like a mystery. You don't really know what you're going to get, but the main thing is getting the 3 points no matter what. And I think performances, you can look at those further on down the line and see where you are from that kind of stand of point of view. So I think it's overall, Arsenal will be super happy.
Yeah, Abdullah, what do you think?
Yeah, basically I agree with Wael, but for me, it was the most boring game of the whole games.
No, I think
Yeah,
Chelsea.
it was
I think
kind of
Chelsea was. I think
underwhelming.
Chelsea
It was-
was definitely.
Yeah, it was
more
boring. It was. No,
Yeah, I think I think it's more like underwhelming.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think.
because,
man,
like-
I thought, man, Arsenal should be more energetic, play better football, but they
That's
Yeah.
not, that's not what
Something
they
like
do.
that.
That's not what they do. They take the lead somehow, some way, and then they sit back because they know they can.
See, last year
they
they
can
were-
keep the lead.
Well,
Last
let's
year
talk about
they-
that first goal, because a lot of people thought either the goalkeeper Bayender was either too weak and should have dealt with it better,
He was definitely too weak.
and the
Oh.
other half kind of think that it was a foul.
It was a foul.
I'm
It was
of the
a foul.
opinion that it was a foul.
I don't
It's
know.
not
I don't
foul.
know. He was. I think any other goalkeeper in the Prem will probably be stronger and will not have that happen to them where they concede a goal.
No,
from
well,
that.
No,
it
but
was
like
a foul.
Saliba was right on him and shoving him backwards. Like, it's hard to get momentum to punch a ball if you're moving backwards.
But that's
In
not
my-
even. That's
I
not
think it's a
even.
foul.
That's not even the most questionable thing that happened in that game. To be honest, I mean, you can. I think the goal.
Well, yeah,
I
we'll
guess you
get
could,
to that.
I guess
but,
you
like,
could. I think it's a 50-50 thing, and I think once the ref was like, I guess it's a goal. I guess he didn't really react to what had happened. The VAR kind of let it slide because it wasn't. I don't think it was too extreme either way. You could argue it's a foul. You could argue it's not a foul. So I think they just went with the ref's initial decision.
But it was a foul.
It was. I think any other like country or in the Champions League that would have been given a foul for sure. But
So-
other than that, I thought United impressed me kind of with their performance. They were quite positive. The new signings, Mbomo seemed really lively. Like, it seemed like a lot of the play was going through him, and he was getting on the end of most of the chances. Cunha was really bright as well. He had a lot of good moments in terms of fashioning his own chances. Picking up the ball and dribbling past players, creating stuff out of nothing. He had a really good chance in the first half, which Raya saved.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of them to build, a lot of stuff to build on for them.
I'm already very upset about my flop of the season pick now because I don't think Cunha is going to be a flop. I think he'll be pretty good.
Oh yeah, you
Um,
said Cunha.
I did say Cunha. I said Cunha just because I wanted to say a United player, but
You could have said like Sesko or something.
that wasn't official yet, was it?
I guess true. Yeah,
I actually
At the
don't, maybe it
time.
was. I can't remember now.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think Cunha was pretty good. I think Mbeumo was better. It was interesting to watch how United were playing that whole game, where I think they used mostly Mbeumo, but both Cunha and Mbeumo as like outlets. And I felt like the whole game, I barely noticed Bruno Fernandes really creating or doing much. I really only noticed Cunha and Mbeumo trying to make things happen. And I do think, I don't want to like annoy United fans, even though I like it, but I do think it's a bit overstated how well they played, just because we know for a fact Arteta and Arsenal's game plan was, once they took the lead at least, is to just contain the game, control the game in defensively. United were allowed to have like I think it was 60% possession. Like,
Yeah, they had a lot of the ball, United.
like I don't think you'd see most weeks Arsenal having 40% possession, but in a game like this, against opposition like this, especially away at Old Trafford, I think they're completely happy to take that lead and just sit back and grind it out, which I don't think. I mean, for match week 1, I don't think you can look too deep into it with Arsenal's style of play, but maybe as the weeks go on, Arsenal fans would hope they could play a more positive brand of football to win these big games. But I mean,
Yeah.
they came out with 3 points. That's what they wanted.
Abdullah, what did
Yeah,
you
they
think of
played-
Manchester?
Yeah, they played really good, but I think they are still missing something.
I think it's in the
Manchester
midfield.
United are
The
missing
striker,
it.
also the striker.
The striker,
I
they
guess
need
yeah,
time.
to
They
finish
need
with the
more time.
chances. Yeah, they'll
Sesko
definitely
playing more games. I think Sesko play good, but they need a new midfielder. And also, there's something
Definitely.
missing in the defense. I feel like they need someone instead of Dillard. I'm still
Well,
not
I thought
convinced
De
of
Ligt
that
had a
player.
good game. I thought he had a very good
Nah,
game. He
I
like
I never
dealt
liked.
with Gyökeres really well. He basically marked him out the game.
Yeah,
Gyökeres couldn't get a sniff.
but I think
He was winning pretty much every header, winning every
That's
duel.
another thing. Gyökeres was not
He was
free.
non-existent.
He was not. I don't feel like he was playing his game.
no,
You
I
know
Yeah,
what
think
I
I mean,
mean?
it didn't help. They were just hoofing it to him, and no one was
Yeah,
kind of like seeing his runs. And
after the
yeah,
game, I think you could question maybe Arteta's decision to start Gyökeres in the first place. I think maybe
no, he has to be.
no,
No,
but
he has to start. No, he has to start.
I
He
think
needs
it
to get
was
more
a
minutes.
I think it was a debate in between maybe the staff Art and Arteta about do we go with Gyökeres' lack of sharpness right now without having a preseason or lack of fitness for Havertz, because I think in the end in that game you saw that Gyökeres was really completely ineffective and didn't really contribute.
in fairness to him, it wasn't just him. Like Saka was very
Yeah,
quiet.
yeah,
Odegaard, from a defensive standpoint, was pretty good. He really helped with the pressing and
I mean,
winning
he was
back
the
the
best
ball.
player
But
that
going
wasn't a
forward, he
defender.
was lacking. Martinelli was hooked as well, and there wasn't really much spark in the attack.
They didn't, but that's the thing.
So
They didn't
you
need
couldn't
it.
really
They
pinpoint
didn't
on
need it because
Gyökeres.
they already had the 1-0 lead from the
Yeah,
corner in the
but if
14th
they
If
hadn't
minute.
they
got that
don't,
goal,
if they don't bring a new left wing, they will never win anything. I don't
mm,
think Martinelli is the type of player to play in Arsenal.
mm.
He
Well,
was
they
he
brought
was
in
that
Madueke, who also kind of like just
Madueke is just
a depth signing, but
he's a
depth
bench
signing
player.
for that
He's
much
a bench
money,
player. He's a bench player.
50
Yeah,
million.
they paid a lot for him. They paid a lot for him.
I think if you put him out on the left, you could hope that maybe he could be better with the dribbling than Martinelli. I think he's probably a better dribbler than Martinelli, and you'd hope
Yeah, he is
because as
better
a you'd
than
hope as
really. I
a
think
yeah
Martinelli's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
No, he's better than
I think
Martinelli.
you'd hope with Madueke as a left footer, maybe on the left wing, he could be like more of a provider, whereas Saka will be someone who provides and finishes off chances. But I don't know. We'll see how it happens. I think they're still in the market for someone. They're going to miss out on Eze, I think, for sure, and I don't think they're going to get Rodrigo. So I don't know if they have any plans to sign a left winger.
I don't. They will. What did we think of the penalty or non-penalty decision towards the end on Cunha from Saliba?
Abdullah, you say.
No, it's not a penalty.
You don't think it's a penalty?
No, it's
You
not
don't think it's a
penalty.
penalty?
Oh
No,
my
it's not
God,
penalty.
Abdullah.
Abdullah, he took out his legs
Abdullah.
from below. He
It's-
didn't get the ball at all.
Abdullah, being a Madrid fan, seeing all of the ticky-tacky crap penalties in your as a Madrid fan that you get, you don't think this is a penalty?
No, this is not penalty.
Bro,
For me,
it's,
it's not penalty.
It's
But why?
100%.
He
100%.
doesn't get the ball. He goes right from behind him.
he trips him up completely.
Like that's a foul.
It's 100% a penalty.
It's not foul.
100%
But why?
a
Why isn't
penalty.
it foul?
I think he was going for the ball. I
So
think he
But he
touched
didn't
it.
get the ball.
No, he get the ball.
No, he
Didn't.
Didn't he?
didn't, man. Watch it back. He didn't
I
get the
think he
ball.
got them.
Go watch it back, bro. Here, you
I
want
need
my
to watch it
glasses?
back, but
In the end, I think United can, look at that. United fans can look at that positively. They can look at their style of play positively.
Yeah, I think when we have Akbar back on, I think he'll have a lot of positives from that game. Even though the win will be the loss will be hard to take, especially to Arsenal. But
I think the loss will be even harder to not because of the way the game went, but more so because of the penalty decision.
yeah, everything went against. them that
I
game.
think from the point of last season, it's a good way to start the season. Okay,
It's a
you
huge
lose against
improvement,
Arsenal. Yeah, you lost against Arsenal.
they'll
That's a
have
good
wanted
start.
to get off
They
with a
play
win
good.
though.
They play good. They have some good points. They can work on it till the season.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
I mean, who they got next week? I think they've got Fulham away. It'll
Mhm.
be a tough one, but if they want to get back to the top half of the table and crack into that,
I
top
think
six,
we need
then
more.
they're gonna need to win that.
In the next two to 3 months, we will see what will happen with Manchester United. They need more time.
I also think maybe Abdullah, with your point about De Ligt, they want someone different. I think maybe Martinez coming back would be pretty important. He could be someone in defense that on the ball would change it up
Maybe.
for them.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
And your midfield thing, your midfielder suggestion about they need to sign a midfielder or they need a new midfielder makes sense. I don't think they want Casemiro or Ugarte there. I don't know if they're maybe hoping Mainu will develop into that secondary midfielder beside Fernandes.
There's no way he can play alongside Bruno. They don't have the
I don't
discipline
believe-
to both.
But I
Like,
can't imagine
playing
I can't imagine he'll be behind Ugarte though in that position.
Playing Bruno in that new position, I don't think it will work.
He didn't look like he did much in that
He
game,
did-
but
he
we'll see
did.
how it develops.
He played good, but through the whole the season, I don't think he will prove much. That's
Mhm.
They need to put more work on the defense side and more work on the attack side. We know all about Bruno. He's just making that crappy passes.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I think we all know who the real winner of United versus Arsenal was. That was Arsenal. But United has come a far way from what it was before, right? From what it was last season. We saw Mbeumo, we saw Cunha, we saw everyone link up, right? Lenny Yoro put a hell of a performance in. So overall, it was a good game. Bruno Fernandes had the most shot creating actions and the joint most chances in the whole Premier League, and like during those games. Cunha had the most successful take-ons. And that's after people say that he doesn't tackle. He had the highest successful take-ons as well, right? So that means he goes in for the tackles. He does press, when it's time. Mbeumo, most progressive carries. Lenny Yoro, most interceptions. So you can see the span of the team forming. Do I think, we have enough to, make a top 4 finish? We'll see. I think it's too early. I think this is the start of something. It looks good. It looks very good, but we'll see how it lasts, right? So overall, very proud of the boys. Arsenal, I'm telling you, Victor Gyökeres won't score till November. And I think Declan Rice was a bit missing. Zubimendi did really well, but Rice just wasn't there. And David Raya had a hell of a game. Good takeaways from a Man United fan, from a Man United perspective. Room for improvement, obviously. We need to be clinical in front of goal, and someone needs to finish those Mbeumo headers. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know if you have enough to finish top 4, given how much the other teams have strengthened, but we'll take a game by game and see how it goes.
Okay, so let's move on to the first game of the season, where
we're going to Liverpool.
Yeah, where who played. The champions played. The 20-time champions, soon to be 21-time champions.
21 is coming, people. 21 is coming.
Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2.
This is a crazy game.
It was a crazy game. I'd say.
It was a crazy game.
I'd say weirdly.
Waleed was going to lose his hair at one point.
I'm on the way there. I'd say, to be honest, it was a really weird game. I think there's a bit of an overstatement about how Liverpool were defensively. I think if you watch the full game, you'll know that once we subbed off Kirkez and Frimpong, kind of completely changed the game for Bournemouth.
Well, let's talk about the first half in terms of what went well. I think Ekitike was outstanding from the off.
Man of the match.
He was really linking well. Yeah, he was. He took his goal really well, made it himself. Kind of fortunate with the deflect.
He made a good run. McAllister put him through, and he did everything he needed.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got the ball back and he finished it off nicely. And he was always looking kind of dangerous, even in the air. He scuffed a couple of headers, but really positive. I thought in the first half, Szoboszlai and McAllister worked really well. Both of them.
I was going to ask you about that. What do you think about Szoboszlai and McAllister playing together?
I think we missed Gravenberch for sure, just from that kind of defensive perspective and the way he can, turn and drive with the ball and go through defenses and play ball
and stop transitions.
Szoboszlai, I think defensively they were both great. Like they were winning tackles and they were linking well with Wirtz.
I mean, we controlled the game. They were a really big part of it, and I think Szoboszlai I don't know if he'll continue to rotate in these positions because we haven't seen him play in the Wirtz position yet since we started the season, which is the 10. It's interesting that we've played him in the kind of double pivot or 8 role now, where he's kind of picking up the ball deeper from the center backs, and he's got the range of pass to pick out Salah consistently, which we saw in that whole game. I think
Salah was quite isolated in that first half. I think I noticed for sure in the second half. The MO was like, okay, give Mo the ball a bit more. Let's try and find him, let him create, let him get some shots off. And I think that definitely helped our forward play in the second half.
Yeah, I think I don't know how often we're going to see Szoboszlai play in this position going forward, but I do like that he's got a range of pass that I don't think any of the other midfielders have, and being able, like, a secondary player besides Virgil to pick out that diagonal for the wingers is really important, I think, as well. It's going to help us a lot in transition when we pick up the ball and we maybe beat the press. He can just ping it long. So yeah, I think I think he's did pretty well in that position, except for maybe the second half.
So Gakpo made it 2-0. He took his goal really well. Again, really good link-up play with Ekitike.
Yeah.
And after that, I genuinely thought it was like, all right, we've got this
Felt
game
like we were
under
coasting,
wraps.
yeah.
I thought we were gonna just, play the ball back and forth a bit, take this thing out the game, maybe go grab another. But then, like you said, Waleed, Slot made those changes where he took off Frimpong and Kirkaz, Kirkaz himself was on a yellow. And then Frimpong, after the game, said he kind of felt his hamstring a bit, so that was kind of precaution. But then he brought on Robertson and Endo at right back, which was a bit confusing. And then we kind of saw how it played out when Bournemouth played like a snatching grab and got that first one. And the second one, both counterattacks, really exploiting those wide positions.
Yeah.
Abdullah, what did you think of the?
You almost.
of
It
Bournemouth?
was a terrible. It was a terrible sub. Taking off both of them at the same time. I did not understand it. And Brian was sitting next to me. I told him Liverpool might lose the game, and you almost lost it.
Yeah, I
But
think the
momentum completely
first goal
shifted.
could be chalked up to a bit of
Yeah.
miscommunication and
Maybe
positioning.
it's
Robertson.
I think
Robertson
Virgil
didn't
needed to
catch
do
up
better though.
Yeah,
for me
Virgil,
when
I
I
think
was
he didn't.
when I
The
was
thing
watching
is,
the game.
oh, go ahead, Abdullah.
When I was watching the game, I was focused more on the new signing. I focused more on Verse and Frimpong. I think Verse need more time, but the way he play, I don't know if you noticed the way he playing those passes. He was but he was going for really good passes, but he was losing some links with.
It was it was a
Kiki.
rhythm kind of thing.
It was
a
the
rhythm
moment
kind of
I
thing
think
and
that
getting used to.
in the middle of the first half. I don't know if you noticed that he was on the right side. He was on the right side, taking a pass for Kiki. And Kiki was a bit behind. I think if you guys make those links up a better links up, I don't see how Liverpool might lose this season.
It'll come from more game time,
Yeah.
better understanding between the players
Yeah,
once they
yeah.
understand
I think
positions and runs. And
I think
things like
Verts had
that.
a pretty quiet game, especially compared to the Palace game. I think the real difference.
I guess in terms of like goals and assists and that kind of stuff, yeah, but there was a lot of
No, but I just
good
think
stuff
in-
to see in terms of like
He
his
was-
touches,
No, he
his
was
passes.
he was making good top passes. Yeah, he was playing
But I-
really good.
Maybe he was taking a bit too much time on the ball sometimes, but I think overall he had a good game. It was once we got picked
Don't
back
forget,
to 2-2.
it's a new league for him.
Yeah.
It's a new league
Yeah.
for him, a new type of football. We need more time.
And I think maybe it's also a different pace of game compared to the Palace one as well.
Yeah.
Bournemouth are much faster, more high pressing
Yeah,
team than
maybe.
Palace. I just felt like during that game in general, I just felt like maybe Verts didn't have the ball as much as I would have liked, and sometimes we just didn't find him as quick as I would have liked, and I just thought we just saw him do less compared to Palace, where you felt like he was like the perfect player for the Palace game when we scored those 2 goals to break the lines, make the line breaking passes as well, and then that's how we got the first goal in the very beginning. So he's going to be doing that more often this season, I think.
Well, Bournemouth did a good job, kind of, in terms of their pressing and kind of like soaking up the pressure as well, and that's kind of what led to the second goal was a lot of overcommitment from Liverpool, and then in an instant, Bournemouth were able to, go on the counter and have a lot of numbers, and it was like a 4v2 situation, and Semenyo did really well to.
I couldn't believe he didn't pass
keep-
the ball. But it was a great
well, he kind of
finish.
knew Konate had to be caught in 2 minds.
Yeah, but
Because he knew he had that outlet.
Konate was did the most wrong thing you could have done in that transition, I think, because he didn't
Well,
close.
can't
He
really-
didn't. No, I know.
It's really tough though.
I know it's tough. It's tough, but it's tough to judge when you're meant to go or when you're meant to go with the player who has the ball or the players who are making the runs. But I think in the end, by the time he took the shot, he should know that we're very close to goal and he needs to commit to one of those.
Well, it was just
I don't-
outside the box when he shot.
No, I don't think it was. He was just
No,
inside
he was
the box.
inside. No, he was inside the box. He was inside the
Really?
box.
Maybe just on the line
But-
because it wasn't that close.
I don't think anyone knew he was going to shoot the ball. And for me, I was shouting, pass the ball, pass the ball. Brahim also was shouting, pass the ball. So,
I think once he saw
Well-
Konate kind of drift away, he's like, okay, this is the chance. The goalkeeper's not going to expect it. He's kind of blocking the vision of Alisson.
no one,
And
no
he
one
used that.
expected him to shoot the ball.
But I
no one
think,
expected
but at the
that.
same time, the reason I judge Konate harshly for that goal is because I think Virgil was right in front of Semenyo, and also I'm trying to remember now. Robertson was also kind of beside Virgil, so Konate could.
No, Robertson was still trying to catch up. It was Virgil had someone on the left. I can't remember who it was. He
There was
kind
someone
of,
beside Virgil though.
shepherding them, covering them. Yeah, he was
It
trying to
was
cover them.
Virgil and
On the
Semino
left
and
side.
another player was running from there. I think Virgil should push from
That's what I'm saying. I think Virgil was the one that was kind of connected to Semenyo on the counter, and
Yeah.
Konate should take up the runners. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was in the end. It's nothing you can do because it's such a good finish, and Alisson was rooted to the spot.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
good finish.
And then after that, we were kind of struggling a bit. Bournemouth were doing really well in terms of preserving that and trying to get out of there with a draw. And it kind of took a bit of a stroke of luck from, the deflections on the cross from Salah from the right, putting a really good, dangerous cross. It kind of spilled into the path of Chiesa, and
Perfect
the
finish.
man,
I love that
the
guy.
myth, the legend,
I
Frankie
love
Church.
Chiesa.
He did the job.
I love Chiesa. I hope
so-
Chiesa
he's-
starts for you guys.
He won't start.
Well,
I
they were
love
singing.
Chiesa.
The fans were singing his song even before he came on. That's how much like the fans love him.
Because
And
since I'm
just the
telling you,
song is
because
so brilliant.
since Diaz left now, that Chiesa's song is officially the best song in the Premier League. So we need to just keep singing that now for 90 minutes every game.
Yeah.
Um,
From his goal, like when he took it kind of looked like he scuffed it, but his technique was actually pretty good, and he hit it with the outside, and it just crept
it
into
wrong-footed the keeper for sure.
Yeah,
I don't
got
think
into
the-
the
yeah.
bottom right.
When you watch the replay as well, you see how close it was to hitting Konate. It's such like an inch,
Yeah,
it was
bro,
an
it was
inch
like
perfect,
millimeters from his bum.
inch perfect finish. And it's a good thing he didn't take a deflection because it would have been sad to see that goal taken away from Chiesa. but
Why? What if? Oh, you mean
If it
because
deflected off
of
Konate and still went
credited-
in, then-
Yeah.
But it was a great finish
Yeah.
regardless.
But you could see how much it meant to him. Like he was so happy, and
I was also very happy.
He was, yeah.
He said when he was going mental. We were both jumping,
Yeah, we were jumping.
and we were like going rowdy at home.
Yeah, woke up
Yeah.
mama.
Yeah. Well, better late than never.
And then
I was texting Dana.
yeah,
I asked her, what did Wally do when you...
She
when
wasn't
when
home.
Bournemouth came... Yeah, I know. She told me.
Yeah.
yeah.
So a
In the-
quick recap. Let's go. A quick recap for the game. What do you think, Wally?
Oh, we didn't even talk about the final goal from
Yeah,
Salah.
I wanted to say the
See.
inevitable,
Oh, Salah.
But the cherry on top.
the inevitable,
top.
yeah,
Little
the,
Salt
the,
Bay,
the
little-
creme de la
Yeah.
creme,
Yeah.
the creme de la creme of the Liverpool's game. Salah on opening day
Yeah.
getting his goal. Getting his goal in the least. I don't know if it's the least Salah goal ever, but it's one of the least Salah goals ever. Cutting in.
Well, yeah, on his
on the
right. I
right.
don't think the defenders were expecting it.
I don't remember any time Salah has scored a goal like that on his right. It was such a good goal.
I don't think Salah ever uses the right foot.
I think in this Liverpool team, only Salah would see that ball flying into the Bournemouth half and decide, I think I can get that. And then to catch the Bournemouth players completely off guard, grab it, and then just hold on to it
Yeah,
long
he
enough
didn't
to.
let it go.
And he held. You saw
Yeah.
the three runners finally make it into the box, and you're just thinking, okay, you're gonna cut it back now. And he's just taking his time, finds an opening, and finds the bottom corner. And that's just what that's what Salah does.
Just a lot of things.
Uh,
That
he's
takes
the
him up
best player in the
to. Yeah,
Best player in the league, best player in the world.
Undoubtedly.
should have the Ballon d'Or. We'll see.
He should have it.
Yeah. He had a really nice moment at the end with the fans chanting Diego's song.
Yeah.
Pretty emotional.
Yeah, and just
I
sorry.
think we kind of forget that about the players are kind of still dealing with that.
Yeah, they're still dealing with...
And it's gonna
Well,
do
the
it.
Jota
It's
thing.
done a number on them, and it's you kind of have to remember that mentally they're gonna have that playing on their mind. So we can cut them some slack as well sometimes.
Yeah, I don't want to act like I know what Salah has been through till now, or the players in general have been through till now with Jota's passing. But it just, when you watch it back, that moment at the end, it just seems like he didn't really fully feel the weight of it until like that moment. So it was nice to see his like have a somber and bittersweet moment with the fans at the end, celebrating his goal with the slaughter
Yeah.
celebration as well.
Yeah, well, it was a great win for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Sets them off on a good platform.
And definitely
into-
would have been a pretty catastrophic beginning to the season, considering the next two games for Liverpool if they didn't pick up 3
Yeah,
points in
huge
the opening
games.
game. Just to quickly touch up on it
Alright.
as well. Definitely a handball, definitely a red card, but we move on because we won.
Oh yeah, that moment. Oh my god.
Each
Well,
one.
it's good that we got the win at the
The
beginning
moment
of
with
the first half.
Yeah.
Senesi just closed the ball, and VAR is just like,
I still
that's sound.
I genuinely believe it's just because it's the first game of the season. It's the first like 15 minutes of the first game of the season. Let's just move on. That's what I genuinely believe the VAR was thinking.
Well, from the looks, from when I saw like fan footage of like when Slot is talking to the fourth official, the assistant on the touchline, about like the incident, and the assistant seems to like gesture that it was like he's talking about the first bit where it hit his body and then hit his hand, and he's not. It seems like they completely missed
The second
the
bit where he
claw.
swipes at it.
The second bit where he swipes at it,
But that's their job.
and I think it's just. I know, man, but they just kind of rush things and they just don't even think about. It's kind of like the Diaz situation.
They pick and
couple
choose.
seasons ago,
But that's the
it was-
weird thing about them. They pick and choose when to just quickly move on. They pick and choose when to take like 5 minutes on a decision. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Anyway,
Like, it's crazy how we all could see it, and yet the people who are in
I
charge,
did-
the people.
Until the replay, I did not notice that. I did not
There-
notice
there
he
was-
touched the ball the
neither-
second time.
neither.
There was one angle from behind where you see the ball
Yeah.
move clearly when he swipes at it, and
Yeah.
it takes it out of the path of Ekitike.
you can see the
And-
ball completely changed speed and direction as well.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know how they missed that. Anyway, they got the win in the end, and that's the most important thing.
Now we move on to currently top of the table for goal difference, playing a great game. Man City, Wolves, or Wolves Man City because Wolves are at home. Wolves 0, Man City
Yeah.
4.
It was a
Um,
convincing win in the end for Man City.
Yeah,
The first half, there were some iffy moments where Wolves were being super direct and physical and
in the transition.
fashioning a few chances, especially down those fullback positions. Like they were out muscling Lewis and Aït-Nouri and creating some dangerous chances. Like if they had just found their finishing boots, then we could be talking about a different game. But Man City, they got through that storm and instantly made Wolves pay for their mistakes. And
Yeah, and I think we instantly
Haaland.
saw how important Reinders is going to be for the rest of the
oh,
season.
dude, he was sensational.
I
It was
think-
his show.
Yeah.
It
it
was
was
his
like
show that
it was
day.
completely his
Yeah.
game. He
You can
controlled
see he was the
game.
best player on the pitch.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can
he
see
took
was the
he
best
took
player on
to
the
Man
pitch.
City like a duck to water.
Yeah.
I was not happy when they signed
I
him
think
because
they-
I just thought I was like, this guy he's gonna do everything they need him to do.
Yeah, well, he was involved in the first goal where he
He got the pre-assist
drove with the ball, dribbled,
and found
got the
Lewis
ball over to
to Rico
I
Lewis.
did
Yeah,
not
to
think he
Lewis.
was that good. So I watched a couple of AC Milan games with Ryan. I did not think he was that good.
yeah. I've
Because
seen him
Milan
in
are
some
the
games.
thing is
yeah.
Milan is a defensive team.
Maybe. Maybe. But they
And
play
you
good.
also kind of have
They
to think
play-
about like the Serie A attacks of how
Mm.
are they gonna fit in the league.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's a slower game over there, so you can kind of shine if
Yeah.
you're physically
Mm.
capable. And
But interestingly, actually, I was looking at the stats. City had 4 shots on target the whole game, and they scored every single one. So they were clinical. They were clinical, I guess,
Really?
in the moments they needed to be. Especially
yeah.
Reinders.
But those moments, but those chances were so clear. Like it was like a tap in for Haaland at the back post for that first goal.
and the second goal.
Reinders one, he took it really well. It wasn't considered. I wouldn't say like it's a clear
No,
chance.
that's one of the hardest finishes to finish with your
on his
with your
left as
left
well.
into the far
It
right
was
corner.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good goal.
It was a hard finish.
And then Turkey as well, with
Yeah.
his little cameo, having another very good goal.
He looked pretty good in those 20 minutes that he was on. I think some really nice flicks and passes and dribbles, and he took his goal really well on the edge of the box.
Yeah, and looking a bit ominous for the title. These guys, City, Guardiola again, but we do need to remember as well. Wolves are going to be in a relegation battle. They just
Yeah, well, I have them going down, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really a shock to me to see Man City dominate them.
Yeah, I
They'll
think
have tougher tests. In
they
fact,
started.
next
They
week
started.
they've got-
They started fast with, like you were talking about earlier, with those transitions where they looked like they could actually score, and we were getting a bit excited. But then, just as soon as Haaland was at the back post by himself, tapping it in, we just knew they're just gonna run away with the
It
game.
was going to be that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an easy game for City, so we cannot judge that.
They'll have
by
tougher
the
challenges.
Wolves
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like next week.
But still, they're gonna be a dangerous team for you guys. So we can
Oh
see.
yeah, they'll definitely be up there.
I don't know how I feel about them third and Arsenal second in my prediction now. I still think
Nah.
Arsenal finish second.
I've seen your prediction, Walid. I don't.
We'll see. We'll see.
I believe
Well, it's
City.
a long
I
season.
believe
It's only
City.
just third.
It says gonna,
Remember when we
And they still have Rodri to come back.
exactly, we were talking about those transitions where Wolves look dangerous. Rodri's still not back to stop those transitions. Okay, so now we move on to Chelsea Palace, the most boring game of the week, unfortunately for Chelsea
It was
fans.
uninspiring, yeah. Chelsea weren't very convincing. They had most of the ball, but
They had
Palace
70%
were really hard to
possession.
break down. Yeah, they had so much of the
I think
ball, and they
Palace's
just
game
couldn't
plan
find a way.
Palace's game plan was very clear from the beginning. They packed the midfield, the center of the pitch completely, and it forced Chelsea wide, and Chelsea were very unimaginative the whole game, just 1-2s with the wingers and the defenders, and then crossing the ball into the box. But they're crossing the ball into the box to who? To João Pedro, who's not going to be the guy you want on the ends of crosses, which is pretty interesting that in the second half they waited to bring on Delap when they knew that was the game. That was what was happening in the game. So I just think, even though you could consider a halftime substitution harsh, you have to play the game sometimes. If you're crossing the ball a lot, bring on Delap, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they waited too long to bring on Delap.
And
Clearly,
Estevao.
it wasn't working for them.
Estevao actually surprised me. He
Well,
looked
Palmer
very
as
promising.
well. Him and João Pedro were kept very quiet, and Chelsea were forced to take a lot of shots from outside the box. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. They had like 19 shots in total, but only 3 of them were actually inside the box. And you can kind of tell they were really struggling to create clear, big chances.
Yeah. I think as well if we talk a little bit about the subs that came on to try and change the game for them, Estevao looked pretty promising, and I think he looks like exciting for Chelsea fans throughout the season. I think he's gonna.
He scuffed a big chance though.
I was gonna say he looks like, I feel like he's gonna end up being the starting right winger because he looks so completely different from the other options they have. But he left something a bit wanting with his decision making. I think maybe 2 or 3 times there were chances in the box for him to either put it on a plate for someone or get a cleaner shot off, and he just scuffed it a bit. So I think with time his decision making will come, and he'll be a starting winger for Chelsea.
For me, I think it was more Crystal Palace playing a good game than Chelsea.
Yeah,
were average. That's what from me.
Well, they actually had the ball in the goal in the first half. Eze struck an insane free kick, and it was ruled out for apparently being too close to the wall.
Yeah,
by Gehi.
Chelsea need to improve a lot.
Yeah,
Chelsea need to improve a lot, and the more they need to play more together. I think they were a bit separated. That's what's from.
Yeah, and I think if you think back of what the game that you watched, you don't think of like Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo really doing much. Even Palmer.
Palmer was very quiet. Very quiet.
Yeah, I think it's interesting comparing that Palace game to the Palace game that Liverpool played in the Community Shield. You see kind of like they kind of set up, I think they set up almost exactly the same in terms of packing the center and leaving little gaps in their own half for the opposition to play in. But the difference for Liverpool scoring those 2 goals compared to Chelsea was you had someone like Wirtz picking up the ball, beating players, finding the line breaking pass, and then Ekitike having the quality to finish it. That's the exact thing Chelsea lacked in that game.
I was surprised with Chelsea performance. They played really good in the World Cup. They won
the Club World Cup.
But I was surprised with their performance in the start of the season. But as I told you before, I think it was more Crystal Palace playing a good game.
Yeah, Palace had their own. Palace also left wanting sometimes in their transitions. They had opportunities. On the counter,
they had a lot of breaks that they didn't make the most of.
And multiple times, the person who's on the ball just maybe took a bad touch, took too long on the ball, didn't play the right pass, or played a poor pass in general, and they never really created much with their transitions. Do we think Garnacho is going to be the answer to Chelsea's problems then once they sign him?
No, I don't. That's the thing. The options are all very samey. Yeah. Like Gittins, Pedro Neto. It was only, like you said, Estevao that kind of was a bit of a spark.
Yeah.
Estevao was the only player who's different from the other wingers they have.
Yeah. I mean, Gittins was hooked after 54 minutes, and like you could have told me that Madueke played that game, and I'll be like, makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say though, defensively they looked sound. Like they didn't really like we say, Crystal Palace were able to fashion a few breaks and chances, but players like, I think Achimpong, that new kid, he struggled a bit on the ball, but defensively he was on it. And
he gave away the ball I think in the first half he gave away the ball like 3-4 times.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't too comfortable. Yeah. But
and again,
when it came to
other teams in transition will make them pay for that, whereas Palace were unable
100%. To. But he had a lot of energy, and he made some really good tackles for Chelsea that day.
Interestingly, now we've got Chelsea's manager now complaining about needing another signing after spending all that money, because obviously they have
which position?
Centre back. Well, they need a centre back.
But the issues were not defensively. Their issues were going forward. They could
I
barely
mean, you say for sure. I mean,
create a chance.
but again, like we said, like we just said now about Achimpong giving away someone the not having the right centre back there for the on the ball will make them pay for the rest of the season.
These are like first world problems to me. Like he can make it work without the perfect centre back who can play the ball and whatever. Like you've got enough.
But that's
enough tools there.
Their defense and their goalkeeper are the weakness of the team, though. In terms of when you compare them to Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, for if they want to challenge for the title, those are the areas you look at.
I get that. Yeah, from a quality standpoint, they're not there yet. Yeah.
But now also,
I don't think Chelsea wants to compete for. It's not their main goal to win the trophy. I think they.
No, I don't think they'll be expecting that.
The most important thing is to be in the top 6. That's the most
top 4, I would say,
or top 4. Yeah.
Top 5. Yeah, top 5. Yeah, top 5. Top 5. Yeah, top 5.
Yeah.
But I think they need to find that perfect attack.
That's something that Chelsea for I swear the last 2-3 years they haven't done. They just they chop and change every week. They have no continuity. Keep signing
more players.
Yeah, exactly. They have no continuity, like Abdullah's saying. Yeah.
Now they they want to sign Xavi Simons and Garnacho. Where are they going to play?
I don't understand how. Yeah, the Simmons one I don't understand.
If they bring Simmons, when will Palmer play? We don't know.
Yeah. Where are we gonna go now? Spurs?
What, Spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we have an early contender for goal of the season for sure.
Yeah.
Richarlison was on fire first day of the season.
Kudush 2 assists.
Banger.
Yeah, it was a bit
lively. Kudush looked great. I mean, it's Burnley first game of the season at home. I mean, it's a bit of a gimme, but even then, you still have to look.
Richarlison playing a good game.
Yeah.
It was a surprise.
I think comparing this performance to their one against PSG, I was thinking after the PSG game, wow, they were really focused on, or not really focused, but they were really making the most of the set pieces, which is how they scored both of their goals. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, when they play against a team like Burnley, I guess where they're gonna have the ball, how are they gonna create? And they did everything.
He went to a back 4, which is kind of what he did at Brentford. Thomas Frank, when they're playing a smaller or like a more equal team or a lesser team, they'll kind of go for 4 at the back and be a bit more positive rather than 5 at the back when they're playing a stronger opposition. They had a very young team. That midfield of Sarr, Gray, and Bergwall was very young. And I know they've had a lot of game time under Ange the season before, but it says a lot that Frank was, trusted them to be able to take on the first game of the season. I mean, especially when you've got like options like Bentancur and Paulinho on the bench.
I think he felt comfortable enough to rotate just because those players did play against PSG and they were playing at home to Burnley. Even though it is the first game of the season, the Prem, I think he trusted them. I think he was like, we need our strongest midfield for PSG, and obviously he was proven right. They had more than enough to deal with Burnley.
It was an easy match for Spurs. They did their job. They won. Kudus was amazing.
Very positive beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Richarlison making the most of his opportunity now. I mean, you'd think now, second game in a row, they're probably going to start him. Like, I don't think you can drop him from this position. We'll see how it goes.
Now speaking about all those teams, I think it's going to be a really hard season for Liverpool. For me, I still believe Liverpool going to win it.
Yeah, it's going to be tougher than last year for sure because everyone is going to have to. I mean, everyone has to be better than they were last year.
Everyone has improved. Everyone has improved.
But we saw last year the Prem has improved massively, and there's a lot of competition when you see from I think third to, or even almost second, third to 10th. There was 2-3 points. 4 points difference.
So the gap between the top half teams was much smaller than
minuscule.
Previous seasons. You had teams like Bournemouth and Brighton and Forest.
So it's going to be a dogfight to get into the European position, the European places this season.
But Spurs gave themselves the best chance, good positive start, and they've got Man City next year. That'll be a huge test.
Are they away to City?
Yeah, they're away.
Oh yeah, because City are away already. Yeah, so City will be at home. And they're potentially going to add Eze as well, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll come in for Sarr, where Sarr played in the attacking mid position. And it looks pretty good for them.
Another player Arsenal should be signing, but for some reason aren't. So we move on to Forest 3, Brentford 1. Convincing win from Forest. Opposite of what you kind of were expecting, maybe just because of the way Espirito Santo was talking about them before the season started, you were like alarm bells were ringing. I'm reading those quotes and I'm like, what's going on? Like what?
I think he's just trying to downplay the expectations for the season because like they very much overperformed last year, and I think a lot of people aren't really expecting them. Well, with the signings they've made, you could say they should cement themselves in that maybe top 10. But
They should be top 10.
Yeah,
They
I
should
think
be
they
top
will
10.
be.
they should. I guess, yeah, on paper, when you see their squad and their performances and how they play, yeah, they could definitely
And then they've retained
keep in
all
the top 10.
their big players, bar Elanga. So you'd hope for some
Yeah,
continuity.
exactly.
You'd expect there would be continuity in the season in terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
performance.
I mean, based on the game, it seems like they haven't skipped a beat.
Mm.
Chris Wood still doing the job and kind of defying expectations and what people think of like his overperformance.
Mm.
But he was really good.
That's
He
the type
took
of
his
that's the
first
type of
goal
goal
really
that's
well.
that's the type of goal that as a fan if you're watching your team, that's encouraging as a striker, like to have your like when your striker scores a goal from like an awkward position.
A scrap.
It's,
Yeah.
it's not like, I don't want to say it was scrappy. He had the quality to judge the ball and just hit it perfectly where it needed to be to score that goal, and that's he's going to continue to do that. And then also the way his composure with his second goal,
Yeah,
where he took it around the keeper as well. I didn't even realize it was Kelleher playing. I thought he was injured. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expected that from Brentford, that they were very lackluster, and we thought they're going to struggle this year.
I mean,
based on that
Akbar and I have
performance.
them. Yeah, Akbar and I
it's
still
gonna
have
be a
them
long
going
season.
down as well, and I think it's not an encouraging start for them.
I had them 17th. I think they might just have enough. I mean, not all. I think they'll eventually get into a groove and find some form, and I think hopefully they'll make a couple more signings. They just brought in Ouattara from Bournemouth. That seems to be the Boomer replacement.
That's their big signing.
Thiago, the signing from last year, is the striker. He got a goal penalty, albeit, but it's good to see him firing. Sade came off the bench, which was a bit surprising that he didn't start, but you imagine he'll probably cement himself. So let's see how they do.
Yeah,
it could be a long slog for them.
I just wanted to touch again on Forest just for a second, just to acknowledge Ndoye. Sorry, just to, like it will be I think he's going to be a really good player for them this season, and I think
great diving header.
Yeah, and I think kind of like I said, I think I touched on it in the first episode. He's going to be different to Elanga in that he's going to be on the end of things. No, he's not going. I don't think he's going to be much of a provider, getting loads of assists. I think he's going to be taking his men on, finding himself in positions where he can score, and we saw that he took his chance really well. I don't think you'd expect wingers to score headers, but he scored a brilliant one.
Yeah. All right. Elsewhere, a huge win for Sunderland on their return to the Premier League.
Yeah.
3-0 against West Ham at home. It doesn't even get better than that. Like, I don't think any Sunderland fan could have written it better than that.
Yeah, I think it was a really fun game to watch. It's fun to watch a team perform like that. It reminded me a bit of
It's good to see them back.
It reminded me of that Brentford game when they first came up and they beat Arsenal 2-0. It was just like electric the whole time. I think they look.
Coming up from the Championship and playing that type of football, they were amazing.
Yeah, I feel good about them staying up, even though it's just one game.
Yeah, and it was West Ham who were really, really disappointing. Like, they had like so much possession, but they just weren't doing anything with it. They were so slow and sluggish and just really uninspired. They couldn't create anything. If that's the marker for the season, then I'd be really worried for West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. I think when the predictions that it's not I said in the predictions that they're managed by Potter, but it's not even close to a Potter team. I don't see the synergy whatsoever, and we saw it in that performance.
So West Ham, what did they position last year? West Ham.
They were like 16th last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they keep up
like that.
Yeah, if they keep playing like that, I think they will be relegated.
It's gonna be more of the same. Yeah.
I just don't see. I just can't see a team with a player like Bowen getting relegated. He's gonna.
Yeah, they have two. Like even Paqueta, Ward-Prowse.
Well, but there's rumors about Paqueta leaving, but at least with Bowen, like they can't get relegated with Bowen. There's just no way.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they're made of next week, and if they can get back to form.
Yeah. Next we can touch on maybe we can
Do we
talk
talk about Leeds? Another
Promoted
promoted
team.
side got a huge win against Everton on Monday night. Another huge atmosphere, and they were really positive in that first half.
It was a very good performance.
Yeah,
they were mostly in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Everton could hardly touch the ball in that first half, and they didn't even have a single shot that first half.
Was that
They
was
really
it the whole
struggled.
half, or was it like the end of the half when we saw?
Yeah,
that
the whole
stat? It was
half.
the whole
The
half.
whole half. They didn't have a
Yeah, the
single
whole
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, every time
Leeds were just pressing and on them from the get-go.
Yeah, they were energetic. They were a really energetic
Yeah.
team. They played really good. I love Leeds. I really love Leeds. I hope they stay.
Well, I have them staying up just because they've been in the Premier League before. Most of their players have Premier experience, and they've of the three promoted sides, they've got the best squad in my opinion.
Well, I mean, with the Sunderland signings, I think they have the best squad. I don't know how I feel about Leeds last with my prediction now, because that was a good performance. But again, I
don't know why you had them last.
Well, the thing is, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna at all differ from this type of football, which is gonna eventually be their downfall when it comes to like other games in the Premier League with other Premier League opposition. You know,
Everton are a mainstay in the Premier League.
Yeah, but they showed when they're playing a team like Everton or a team of Everton's quality, they can control and win a game and dominate a game. But when they start playing the rest of the, like from like, I don't know, 15th up from last season, like you're gonna see them just.
Everton finished higher than 15th last year.
But you know what I mean. I'm just saying they're good. Like the vast majority of teams are.
I mean, if they do that well in their home games, then I think they should be fine.
I don't know.
Most of their points are going to come from the bottom 10.
I mean, we saw Fark with Norwich beat City 4-2, wasn't it? Like so they can play this type of this type of football, win that type of game. But when they stick to that football, it could come back to bite them. But it was a great performance, and I'm very happy they won. Obviously against Everton, albeit a very dubious penalty decision. I think
for me it's a penalty. Abdullah, I don't know. Did you see the penalty? What did you think?
Yeah. It's a penalty.
I know a lot of people will say his arm is by his side.
It's against his body. He's not making himself bigger.
But he's making his body bigger and he's moving towards the ball. If his arm was look at his right arm and look at his left arm, and tell me what is more natural.
But he's trying to he's making his arm part of his body, so it's not in an unnatural position. And he's leaning.
But that's the point. He's making it part of his body so he can block it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
But he's
exactly.
What is the defender supposed to do in that situation if they're trying to block the ball? He's not sticking his arm out. He's just leaning towards the ball. He's trying to block the ball.
He's trying to
but if by blocking the ball you're using your arm, then that's not allowed.
But he's not stretching his arm out.
No, Walid, he knew what he was doing. He keeps
his
hand.
Of course he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he blocked the ball with his hand, Walid.
His bicep.
You can't use your arm in that fashion. Like
his arm.
If it had been like let's say it was like this, and it hit him, fair play. But if he's moving towards the ball to block
but you have to. What else is he gonna do?
Okay, to block it, yes. But
with your body, not your arm.
With your body, yes. If you can't block it without using your arm, then it's a penalty.
So is he supposed to be like, well, that's a Raven. Oh, I have a vision. The ball's actually going to be here, even a bit more to the left. I need to shift my feet. No, he's reacting to where the ball is.
He made a mistake. He shouldn't have used his arm then.
But I don't think he made a mistake, and I don't think it was a penalty. But in any case, it's very nice to see.
I think he tried to deceive. He was trying to deceive the officials with that, and he didn't get away with it.
I think it was very harsh.
Anyway.
But in any case, I'm very happy to see Everton be on the end of a dodgy decision where it hurts them. Very much deserved. Should we move on to Villa Newcastle?
Yeah, let's wrap up the last couple of games. Villa Newcastle.
Brighton Fulham.
It was a 0-0.
Villa Newcastle was a. I'm trying to remember now. It was a pretty. Once the red card happened as well, it was like kind of nothing game.
Well, Villa weren't very good. They again struggled to create anything in that first half. They were a bit better the second half, but then the red card kind of took away all of that momentum that they had.
Clumsy a stupid decision to get that red
It
card.
was so stupid. I can't believe what he was thinking, putting his arms on Gordon, pulling
But
him back.
I have
What
to
did he think was gonna happen?
I have to say though, if I was Konsa, even though I believe he knows what he's doing, I still think it's slightly harsh. Just because when you watch it back, he's only just for like a split second put his hand on Gordon's shoulder, and we know Gordon.
Nah,
We know
it doesn't
Gordon.
matter. Once you put both of your hands and you pull like that, dude, there's no case. There's no case.
No, I mean in the end, I think it's probably it's a red card, but I just think
It's a red card.
I just think
It's a red
Gordon.
card.
We know Gordon, and we know he makes the most of these things.
100%. But that doesn't take away
Yeah.
from the fact that it was a foul and a red card.
It was a foul. It was a red card. It was a stupid mistake by Kwanzaa. But in the end, they got a point.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So
They
it
were
was
good
good for
enough
us, Tabella.
to shut out Newcastle,
And
Yeah.
In the end,
who were crying out for Isak.
yeah,
to be fair.
in the end, it was proven that was Gordon's only meaningful contribution to the game. He couldn't really do anything in in
Yeah.
the 9.
I mean, Newcastle overall looked pretty good. They were like the more positive side. They
it's not like
created pretty
they
good
created
chances.
and they
Yeah,
created
Elanga
like,
in that first 5 minutes had an insane chance.
Yeah.
And it was saved by Villa's new keeper. He had a good game.
but I would say that they created like enough to win the game, especially
Especially
with how little Villa were able to create. The one chance besides Elanga that comes to mind is very early in the game, across I think from Barnes to Gordon in the middle of the box. He had like a wide open header and he just hit it over the
Yeah.
bar.
You see, there in that situation, Isak would have buried that.
But it's too bad
Yeah.
he's refusing to play. I don't know why he's refusing to play. It's such a mystery.
You know, I know he's pretty good.
I
You
know
know
why. He wants to wear this shirt. That's why. Not yours. Not the German one, the Madrid one. But okay, and then the last game, Brighton Fulham. Did we was it on at the same time as another game? Is that why we didn't really watch
It was one of those 3 p.m. games where it was like Sunderland and Tottenham were also playing.
Yeah.
So we didn't catch that game, but we saw
caught the end of it.
highlights, and I think that we saw the end. It was a clutch performance from Muniz to get the goal at the dead.
And now
end of the
officially
game.
his deal with Atalanta is off, so I think he's going to be staying at Fulham.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then that'll be huge for them because now they have 2 really good options up top.
Unfortunate for Leeds. I think they
And,
wanted him though, weren't they linked?
Yeah, I think you're right. He was linked with them.
But it
I
seemed,
mean,
he
let's see.
seemed-
There's still like a couple of weeks left of the
but
transfer.
I don't know. He made it. It seemed like with the celebration, he made it very clear that he's going to be a Fulham player for the season. Like he ran to the crowd, holding up the Fulham scarf. He loved it.
I mean, I hope so. I've got Fulham quite high up the table, and I think they're set for a good season. They haven't lost anyone. They haven't signed anyone, but they have a very
Continuity is
capable
good,
squad.
though.
And yeah.
If your continuity can be a bad thing, but when you're a team like Fulham, with their squad and their manager, continuity can be a good thing.
Yeah, keeping your best players is always
Yeah.
is always good.
They're in
Yeah,
the
I think
sweet
it's the
spot.
best
Alright.
option for a mid-table team to keep their best players.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've gone through all the results.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a quick look ahead to next week?
What are the games coming up next week? If I need a reminder now.
So we've got the early game on Friday. We've got West Ham Chelsea. That's a London derby.
Yeah.
Let's see who can
Chelsea will.
who will remain crap. It'll be
think- I think Chelsea will
the
dispatch
battle
them.
of the
I think Chelsea will get.
Yeah.
possession merchants.
I think it'll be a really tough start to the season for West Ham, and they'll get another loss.
They're gonna have to be.
It's
more
gonna be.
positive in
I think
this
it's gonna be
game.
toxic as well. They're at home, and they're gonna be on the manager. It's gonna be
Elsewhere, you got the early kickoff on Saturday, Man City Tottenham. That's probably the
biggest
big
game.
game
The
on the
biggest game of
Yeah,
the
it's the weekend of the weekend.
week. Besides,
Tottenham were bogey side, have been a bogey side for so long for City, but with Thomas Frank, again, he also had some good results against Pep with Brentford.
I think this could be a high-scoring draw. Like this could be, like especially. I still don't know how I feel about City's defense. This could be another game where Frank
They could
utilizes.
exploit it.
They could where Frank utilizes the
think-
set pieces again, and they could catch them out with a corner or a free kick.
Yeah, I think Spurs will win the game.
Really?
Yeah, I think Spurs
Wow, that's
might
a
win the
bold
game.
shout.
It's either going to be a draw or Spurs going to win the game.
All right. The other big game from next week is Newcastle and Liverpool, which is on a Monday. It's going to be a late game. That is gonna be
It's
toxic.
crazy.
I'm
It's gonna be
really,
a crazy game.
I'm really worried about that game because I know how the refs treat Newcastle, and I know that those two,
They're
those
gonna
two,
get away with murder.
those two,
Joe Linton
those two
and
pieces
Bruno,
of those two,
they're just gonna be hacking.
They do what they want, and they wait until the 80th minute to get booked. I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they let them do it. But I'm genuinely worried for the health of our players.
Yeah, it's gonna be a raucous one.
What are you
I'm
doing?
looking forward to it.
Saudi money. Saudi money,
It looks like you're milking a cow.
He's the milkman.
I think it's. I was gonna say where we're gonna win.
I mean, for our title charge, we need to win. But a point away at Newcastle isn't the end of the world.
I mean, we won last year the league with a point at St James's, so
Yeah, exactly.
hopefully we don't concede 3 goals. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be without Isak again, so you think the Gordon might struggle again in the 9, especially dealing with Konate and Virgil.
Sure. Cool. Do we want to end it there?
I think we can wrap it up there. Thank you for joining us for episode
Yeah.
2 of the Creme de la Prem podcast. Thank God I didn't say it wrong that time. This time joined by Abdullah, who
welcome, Abdullah.
going into the rest of the season. I believe we will have all 4 of us, so we won't just be switching between Akbar and Abdullah every week.
Yeah.
Who's
Do
the
we have a?
who's the depth
Is
option?
Akbar going to send his thoughts? Will he?
Well, I think he said he will. He said he will. So we'll see some of.
All right.
I'll edit
expect his thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I'll be editing in some of his opinions if they're good. So thank you. So thank you. Yeah, thank you again for joining us for episode 2. We will be back for episode 3, where we will be reacting to the second match week.
Next week's games. Yeah.
And we'll be pretty close to the end of the transfer window, so maybe we'll see some interesting developments there. Yeah. Thank you. Follow, subscribe, like, comment.
See you next week.